Time everything. The first one.
I hate using this. It's so official, but I'm just going to quiet the room down. Forgive me, I just want to quiet everyone down because we're going to come to order, okay? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education regular public monthly meeting. Today, Monday, April 28th, 2025. Thank you, Washington School, Mr. Adamo, for having us here. It's so great. Yay. I have to say with a tear in my eye that this is my very last year as a parent at Washington School. I have been here for 15 years straight. Mr. Adamo, maybe I get a little plaque to take with me. But seriously, it's wonderful to be here with the Washington Wildcats tonight. Tonight, the board met in private session here in the Washington Elementary School faculty room, 201 Central Avenue in West Caldwell, New Jersey at 6 o'clock p.m. The purpose of that meeting was to discuss personnel, litigation, miscellaneous, and old business matters. This meeting has been advertised and is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. The matters discussed will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required, and formal action pursuant to said discussion shall take place only at a meeting to which the public has been invited. The regular public monthly meeting is happening tonight at 7:06 p.m., forgive our tardiness, here at the Washington Elementary School Multipurpose Room. The Board of Education meeting is being streamed live, but all community questions and comments will be welcomed here in person only. The Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education regular public monthly meeting is also in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. Notices have been sent to the Progress in Caldwell, New Jersey, the Star Ledger in Newark, New Jersey, and Tap into West Essex. Notices have also been posted at the Board of Education Business Office in the Harrison School Building, Gray Street, West Caldwell, and have been delivered to the clerks of the Borough of Caldwell and the Township of West Caldwell for posting. That's a mouthful. Brian, can you please take the roll?
Yes. Student Representative Bella Parathath.
Here.
Ms. Martini.
Here.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson.
Here.
Ms. Mack.
Here.
Mr. Diambola.
Here.
Ms. Grosso.
Here.
So we have 5 voting members present. We have a quorum.
Fantastic. So now I am going to invite Sophia, Olivia, and Isabella Guerrero, Isabella Egan, Abby Kerrigan, and Max Kerrigan up to lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please. Can everyone please rise? You guys ready? I'll count to 3, okay? 1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good job. Okay, Brian, are there any communications for the board this evening?
There were none.
Okay, we're going to move on to the superintendent's report.
I'd like to invite Scarlett and Ava up to the microphone. They're joining us from the middle school. Scarlett joins us from the House of Citizenship, and Ava is from the House of Integrity.
Yay!
Hi, and thank you to Dr. Conklin and the Board of Education for inviting us to speak tonight. I'm Ava Buono, and I'm representing the House of Integrity.
Good evening. I'm Scarlett Schulman from the House of Citizenship.
Our GCMS annual Make a Difference Day in honor of former Principal Jim Brown took place on April 11, 2025. During this day, we had a variety of presenters in our school to teach and help students learn about ways that individuals can make a difference and impact others in our world. Additionally, each grade was presented with a keynote speaker, which included John Elliott, Alicia Reed from CBS News for 6th graders, Tina Servasio and Elizabeth Tartakovsky from Fox New York and U.S. Olympic athlete for 7th graders, and the 8th graders heard Danny McCaffrey and Lindsay Vacan, who represented Rutgers for a Cause and the J Fund.
Each grade participated in a designated service project. 8th graders paired with representatives from Caldwell University. 7th graders worked with the James Caldwell High School Interact Club for St. John's Soup Kitchen in Newark, and 6th graders teamed up with Seton Hall University Division of Volunteer Efforts. Some of the activities included putting together care packages from the generously donated items from the GCMS community and sending letters and pictures to the elderly.
Students also traveled to different rooms and learned from numerous speakers who all make a difference in their communities through various nonprofit organizations. Some of these organizations include the Civil Air Patrol, Cookies for Cancer, Just for Success, Girls on the Run, and everyone's favorite, the Seeing Eye Dog. Many of our local leaders in both Caldwell and West Caldwell spent the day with us, including our Board of Ed members, Ms. Grasso and Ms. Greenlee.
Thank you to everyone who generously volunteered their time to spend the day inspiring the students at GCMS. Throughout our middle school years, our students are consistently encouraged to embrace the values of giving back. Make a Difference Day is a wonderful reflection of these core principles and an excellent example of the positive lessons that are instilled at GCMS.
The GCMS Spring Musical Frozen Junior is right around the corner. Save the dates and be sure to come out and support our students. Friday, May 16th at 6 p.m., Saturday, May 17th at 1 p.m., and Sunday at May 18th at 1 p.m.
My favorite part of being a house leader so far this year is house days. House days are when the whole school is split into 8 different groups and everyone is playing against each other. This is my favorite part of being a house leader because everyone can come together and have fun while also competing. It is also a great opportunity for everyone to step out of their comfort zone and have a chance to play in front of the whole school, along with possibly winning a big event.
My favorite part of being a house leader so far this year is able to lead and play games on house days with all the students. On previous house days, house leaders would host a game for the class to compete in, and I like running the games the most. I like leading the games the most because it helps with leadership skills and helps you get to know all the students, not just who you're friends with or the people in your grade, but people from all grades. The games allow you to have fun right before break and make school exciting and fun for all kids.
Thank you again, Dr. Conklin and members of the Board of Education for your time. Do you have any questions?
I just want to know the house standings right now. How are both your houses doing? So exciting.
I think it's
No, it's responsibility.
responsibilities in first right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, good luck. Good luck for next month.
Ava, Scarlett, we're going to take a quick picture. While we're
Okay.
taking a picture, Mr. Adamo is going to get ready for his presentation, right?
Yes, so we'll actually do a picture with Ava and Scarlett, and then our flag presenters, we have a little envelopes for you. We'll take a picture with you as well, okay? Great. We can turn around, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, forgive our backs. We just don't want to.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's Board of Education meeting. I am very happy to host this week's meeting, and I am very proud to share a little information on what's happening here at Washington School. So please draw your attention to the projector screen on the stage. Our district mission statement is to foster, inspire, and champion learning for all. And here at Washington School, the teachers and staff work diligently every day to fulfill this mission. I'd like to start by highlighting the staff. Washington School would not be what it is without its phenomenal staff. They are a dedicated group of educators and professionals. It's in their DNA. Whether they are a veteran staffer or new teacher, they work diligently to instruct and support students day in and day out. In addition to working closely with students, they engage in meaningful conversations with colleagues and administration to make informed decisions to do what's best to support students' academic, social, and emotional growth. Reading should not be presented to children as a chore or duty. It should be offered to them as a precious gift. It's a quote from children's author Kate DiCamillo. At Washington School, we share that sentiment. Literacy is the foundation of all education. As children learn to read, they build independence and in turn are able to access more information and learn to express themselves. Our teachers demonstrate a passion for reading and work to instill this in our students. In collaboration with our community partners, we explore ways to build on our commitment to literacy that goes beyond the curriculum and lessons in the classroom to show children how wonderful reading is. Here are a few examples. Reading Buddies is an activity started at Washington 2 years ago. In coordination with the classroom teachers, we partner 2 classes together from different grade levels. Over the course of the school year, the teachers will schedule times for their classes to meet with each other each month. During this time, students will read and explore books together. There have been times that students will complete learning activities with one another as well. This is a great way for older and younger students to learn together, and we always receive positive feedback from the kids. With the support of our HSA, we were able to schedule 2 children's authors to visit Washington this school year. In the fall, we invited author-illustrator Bill Shea in to share his book, A Grandpa Joe Day, with K, first, and second graders. He spoke to students about the writing process and how he reflected on his own life to come up with the idea for this book. This spring, we invited author Lindsay Daly to speak with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. She is the author of a series of books called Would You Rather? Lindsay spoke to students about how she came up with the idea for her book series and how she works collaboratively with her publishing company. She also had the students participate in some fun Would You Rather scenarios. Both authors shared their love of reading with the students and highlighted for students the importance of creativity, using their own experiences to generate ideas, and shared that their final published books are the result of many revisions and hard work. And for any of you who work with kids and writing, revising is one of the least favorite pastimes. Read Across America is a program created to encourage children to read. Each year, schools across the country celebrate Read Across America Week. During this week, educators highlight the importance of literacy and focus on storytelling and celebrate reading as a community. This year, we focused on visiting different regions of the country each day. Washington's library media specialists, Chrissy Weiss, coordinated with the other library media specialists in the district to record read-alouds of books that highlight the different United States regions. Additionally, we had themed school spirit days planned for the week so students and staff could show their personal flair. At the end of the week, we held a school-wide DEAR, that's short for Drop Everything and Read, event. During this event, all of the Washington students entered the hallways and read together side by side. Finally, we have our Parents as Learning Partners events. This district-wide initiative invites parents into the classroom a few times a year to participate in lessons focused on ELA and math. Teachers select the content and activities. This year at Washington, parents were invited in to participate in a variety of learning activities, including phonics lessons, reading comprehension activities, and author celebrations. These events are always well attended, and this highlights the partnership between families and the school, and that's something we value very, very highly. At this time, I'm going to call up members of our HSA Executive Board so they can highlight some of the wonderful work they do with the Washington and Caldwell-West Caldwell community. So I'd like to introduce Ms. Libby Toon. Come on up, Libby.
Thank you, Mr. Adamo. Welcome again, everyone, to Washington Elementary School, home of the Wildcats. I'm Libby Toon, the co-president of the HSA here at Washington. It has been an honor to work along with our current HSA board. Please stand as I call your name. My co-president, Liz Lee, who couldn't be here tonight. Our co-VPs, Michelle Egan and Mary Jo Kerrigan. Our co-treasurers, Lisa Danielowitz and Milton Guerrero. And our co-secretaries, Marissa Jones and Liz Flynn. At Washington, we have over 30 HSA committees that are chaired by our amazing parents and guardians and our countless parent volunteers that help get everything done around this school. We couldn't do it without you, so thank you to everybody. So what have we been up to this year? Get to the next slide. Oh, next one. You might have noticed a new sign out front when you walked in. Thank you to our partnership with Dr. Conklin and the Board of Education for a beautiful new sign. We have had, as Mr. Adamo just said, 2 author visits. We had a literati book fair for the first time. Thank you to Mary Jo for chairing that. We had a cultural arts program just last week. And we've had a few Lego Club sessions so far, to name a few. Between now and the end of the school year, though, we have quite a few things coming. We're hosting our 2nd annual Diversity Day. That's a day where parents and families get to highlight the country that they are from, and we go out into the parking lot and kids get to learn about it in an evening, an afternoon setting, which is a lot of fun for everybody. They get a little passport, a stamp, and walk around. We're also going to do our 3rd annual school shirt design contest. This is where all kids at Washington School get to put forth a design. The winning design is up there on the bottom of the right of a student from last year who put it up, and they will wear that proudly during the school year coming up. We are also working on getting a buddy bench installed. For those that don't know what a buddy bench is it's a way for students to signal to others that they are feeling lonely or that they need a friend to play with. That will be installed outside on the blacktop so that there's a way for kids to communicate a little differently. We also have a proposal up for a few new school clubs that we'll be looking at for the next school year. And we'll be getting a new little library installed outside as a way to have a way for kids to exchange books. Thank you to a Washington parent for building that. I don't know if he is here tonight. So while we love our Washington teachers and we love collaborating with them all year long, we have been working with them on some fun things. This year we're introducing a service project by grade. We have traditionally done a 2nd grade service project that is chaired by our 2nd grade teachers where they do birdhouses, and the HSA does provide some funds for that. This year we're asking all grade levels to participate in a service project. We think it's important for all the kids to give back to the community. So be on the lookout for what they're all going to do. Washington has, as I said, been running a Lego Club for the past year and a half. We're working on looking at doing trips for next year, as well as maybe some student council. We have been working with Ms. Kaufman, as we're all anticipating, the new upcoming art show with all of our sweet treats. And lastly, we love being able to subsidize field trip costs by contributing an amount to each of the students to go out on a field trip twice a year. The picture that you see up here, we had a gelati takeover at Guerrero. And for any Lincoln family parents that are out here, sorry to say we beat you guys out. So well done, Washington. So thank you to all of our teachers, staff, and parents for all of your support this year. Remember, be kind, work hard, create peace. It's the Wildcat way.
Thank you, Libby. And Libby is correct. We could not do it without our HSA. We're very thankful for the support we have from our parents. Okay, at this time, I think you've heard enough from me, and it's time to invite some children up to hear from them. So this year, I collaborated with the 5th grade teachers, and each year the 5th graders partake in a number of events and activities to celebrate their final year at Washington. I have a number of kids coming up to speak now, and they're going to share their experiences with these events. And I'd like to start by inviting Cora Labataglia and Caroline Francina to come up and speak about the Talent Variety Show.
Good evening. My name is Cora Labataglia, and today I'll be speaking about an important 5th grade activity, the 5th grade talent show. The talent show is a magical experience where everyone reached for the stars with their performances. We truly put on a spectacular show. The 5th grade talent show is fun because students get to show off their talents and abilities. This year, the show featured a variety of talents, from playing an instrument to creating a dance routine. We even had a glow-in-the-dark dance crew called the Glow Bros. The talent show is very inclusive because students who did not wish to perform a talent could still be involved in the show by participating in the stage crew, being an MC, working on decorations, or greeting guests as they arrived. I was happy to be a part of this 5th grade milestone and know that students will enjoy this 5th grade activity for years to come.
Hello and good evening. My name is Caroline Francina and welcome to Washington Elementary School. Today I'm going to be talking about the 5th grade talent show. There were really amazing performances like dancing, singing, instruments, and cheer. The best part about these performances is that they get to show off what they can do, their abilities and talents. And this was really fun for all the students that got to do it. If people didn't want to perform, they could be working backstage or they could be talking to the audience at the talent show. This shows the hard work that the performers showed to do their best work when performing. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Thank you, ladies. Nicely done. To discuss the 5th grade community service project, I'd like to invite up Sam Weicker and Grayson City.
Bella was a student of Washington School who would have been graduating this year. So every year in her memory, we do a project. This year's Bella fundraiser was 5th grade made care packages for kids in the hospital. These packages contained notebooks, chapstick, and etc. They also contained a card inside with a joke and a little drawing. Students put time and effort in order to help these kids in the hospital. So what I'm trying to say is I would like to give a thank to all my classmates who made the packages and to all the volunteers who donated and made it happen. And all, it was a spectacular thing that our school did.
As a whole 5th grade community, we organize a service project dedicated to families in need. We work together to collect and make bags filled with items to give to parents and kids who have cancer. We deliver these needs supplies to parents who want to stay with their child in the hospital to make their stay easier. This is especially meaningful to our community as it is dedicated to honor Bella, who is part of our 5th grade family. She had cancer and sadly passed away in 1st grade. During that time, the Washington community delivered need supplies to her parents so that they could comfort her while she was at the hospital. Overall, this was a really heartwarming activity which embodies our Washington model: be kind, work hard, create peace is the Wildcat way. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Nicely done. To come talk about Powerhouse Studios, I'd like to invite up Saoirse Long and Julia Maniello. Come on up.
Hello, I'm Saoirse Long. I'm Julia Maniello, and we're from Washington Elementary School. We're here to tell you all about a place called Powerhouse Studios. The 5th graders get to go to Powerhouse Studios and do fun activities that give rewards to motivate the 5th graders. Thanks to Mr. Adamo, we got to go to Powerhouse Studios.
One thing that motivates me and the other kids going there is we either get to pie a person or get pied in the face. To pie someone in the face, you have to win an activity. An example of an activity is to pump the balloon until it pops. And whoever won would get a coin, and the kid captain would choose a person to pie.
The Powerhouse can really show the fun side of Washington School. And this is why we wanted to share this special place.
Thank you, ladies. And finally, I'd like to call up Kendall McLaughlin and Elise Garvey to talk about the 5th grade car wash. Come on up, girls.
Hello, my name is Kendall McLaughlin, and I'm a 5th grade student at Washington Elementary. Twice a year, we have a 5th grade car wash, which is supported by families, friends, and community members. The funds raised help us participate in various activities, including our 5th grade graduation to middle school. The car wash is a fun opportunity for all of the 5th graders to come together, enjoy a group activity, and raise money to benefit our class.
The 5th grade car wash was something we did to make money for our graduation and 5th grade trips. We had signs up front along with some students and parents to get the attention of people driving by the school. Those who came in drove through the teacher's parking lot onto the blacktop in the back where the rest of the students and parents were. That's where we washed the cars. We started by putting soapy water, then the car drove to the next spot where students operated a hose to spray the car. Then they moved again to the drying plate where we basically tried to dry huge cars with tiny towels. So basically in the end we had over $1,000 for our graduation and activities.
Thank you, ladies. We really do love hearing from our students. They show a lot of courage volunteering to come up here and speak in front of the community. So can we give them all one more round of applause? Okay, and now to end the evening, we are going to see and hear a performance from our 5th grade after-school chorus. This is a new elective this year across the elementary schools. Ms. Katie Creel, new CWC staff member and former CWC student, actually. She is our new Washington's vocal music teacher. She meets with students every Monday after school to practice, and I invited them here tonight to showcase their hard work. We're just going to organize for a second here. Too. Are you guys gonna be good? Okay. And so without further ado, I'd like to welcome up Miss Creel and the 5th grade chorus to sing This Is Me.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our performance. We're so happy to have you here with us today.
The 5th grade chorus rehearses every Monday from 3 o'clock to 3:40, and we're currently getting ready for our spring concert on May 20th.
Tonight, we're excited to sing a powerful song from The Greatest Showman called This Is Me.
This song is all about being proud of who you are, even if you're different from others. It's about being brave, standing up for yourself, and not letting anyone make you feel small. It's a celebration of confidence and self-love, and we can't wait to share it with you. We hope you enjoy our performance.
Yes, take a bow, kids. Take a bow. Go ahead. That's awesome. That's the type of thing that gives you chills in all the good ways, right? Phenomenal. Okay, thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you all to this. We'll give them a second. Thank you to all the students who were able to come out and share. The students at Washington really are the reason why we are all so committed to this community. We see and hear their passion for learning that helps drive us as educators every day. So thank you all for coming out tonight. I'd like to thank Dr. Conklin and the board for giving me this opportunity to shine the spotlight on some of the wonderful and inspirational events that happen here at Washington School. As you depart this evening, just remember to be kind, work hard, and create peace. That's our motto, and that is the Wildcat Way. Thank you.
We're just going to take a break just to take some pictures real quick with the children, and then them and their parents are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting or leave. Before we do that, Mr. Adamo, on behalf of the board, we just want to thank you for opening your doors this evening and welcoming us in. To your staff, who we can attest to personally are the absolute best. Yay, Washington School teachers, yay. And, you know, being in Washington School for 15 years, we've seen a lot of changes at the top. And Mrs. Adams was here for many years, and when she left, it left a void here at Washington School in the administrative offices. And it took us a while to get it right, but I'm going to say that, Mr. Adamo, we finally got it right. You are the perfect fit for this puzzle piece here, and I have to say, I feel honored that the last Grosso got to see Washington School through your eyes. So thank you so much for being here. We're so blessed to have you as part of our family. Okay, that being said, we're going to just take some quick pictures and then we'll move on with the meeting. Thank you to the HSA too, because you really are the backbone. Take it from people who have volunteered in the HSA. Libby and your crew, thank you so much for everything you've done. On with the rest of the meeting. So if anybody exiting can just keep your voices down just a little bit. We're just going to move on. So Dr. Conklin, do you have anything else tonight in the President and Superintendent's report?
No, that concludes my presentation.
I'm just going to ask everybody to just, if you could just keep moving. We just want to move on with the rest of the meeting. So sorry. Okay, so sorry, Dr. Conklin. Superintendent's report, anything else?
That concludes my presentation.
Okay, great. Moving on to the President's report, I just have two brief things. This Monday, May 5th, is the budget presentation. Danielle will talk about that in the Finance and Facilities report. That being said, at that meeting, we will have a preview of the middle school production of Frozen. And just to remind everyone, for our soft-spoken little friends, they were so brave. But Frozen is May 16th, 17th, and 18th. May 16th at 6 p.m., the 17th at 1 p.m., and the 18th at 1 p.m. Tickets are available now on sale online. So get your tickets to Frozen and let's support our middle schoolers. And finally, we have hired an interim superintendent. The contract is with the county superintendent for approval. We are working on a date in May with the interim to announce them. We're hoping it is going to be at the May 19th board meeting. That will be made public and everyone will be given enough advance. We just have to check the schedule of the candidate, but we have reached a terms of agreement and the contract is with the county superintendent right now. Okay, that contract is a 1 year. It'll begin July 1st, 2025 and go through June 30th, 2026, and we'll give the board a year to search for a permanent superintendent, which the interim candidate will be helpful to us. Very, very experienced, long career in education, served as a superintendent in numerous districts and an interim in numerous districts, and will be instrumental in helping to guide the board to find the right person. Okay, so we're looking very forward to announcing our candidate to the community, and they're very excited to introduce themselves as well. That being said, let's move on to committee reports. I'll start with Danielle, Finance and Facilities.
Okay, just a couple quick things following up on last week's President's report, that the board is moving forward with a revised version of the James Caldwell High School Fieldhouse project. Our architect, Greg Somjan, will be coming to our May 19th meeting, and he'll be presenting the revised design, which is essentially, as we had mentioned last week, our first floor of the Fieldhouse project, and again, it will be Title IX compliant. Also, the current project is estimated at approximately $8 million and will be fully funded or secured through our bonding. So that means there will be no capital reserve used on this project. This will be voted on during the November election, so we're not going to hold a special election like we did last time. This will be done through the general election in November. As we receive updated figures through the Bond Council and as we get more information through our architect, we will be sharing out during each board meeting, but we also have our district website where there is a referendum tab, so just keep checking in there and we will keep that updated. I think that is it for the Fieldhouse. Yeah, so the budget meeting, that's going to happen on May 5th. So
that's Monday already.
Yeah, it's coming quick. And that's going to be at 6 p.m. at James Caldwell High School. So the time frame is a little different. Brian McCarthy will be giving us about a 10 to 15 minute presentation or overview of the budget. Again, as Ms. Grosso mentioned, an incentive to come out and watch is to come see the Frozen, the middle schoolers come and promote their play for the middle school. And that's it.
Great. Any questions from the board? No? Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to curriculum and technology.
Okay. So we met on April 21st. It was myself, Dr. Conklin, Ms. Jacobs, Ms. Jones, Ms. Mack, and Ms. Bahudin. And what we did at that time was we had a discussion about some things that are coming up. The first is that the contract for our Chromebooks for our 6th through 12th graders is up, and they will be collected at the end of the school year to be sent back to the vendor. So teachers are aware in planning assignments that some children might have limited access to technology. So just that everybody knows that we're aware of that. The new devices will be distributed in September, and we are also looking at a policy about ensuring new input devices going forward. Additionally, the curriculum directors did survey staff to plan ahead for next year's professional development days, and they shared with us that teachers did enjoy this year's EdCamp model and shared that they have appreciated the choice and voices in the models that were provided, and that they want to continue going forward with that direction as well. Our K to 12, or sorry, K to second grade schools, there have been selected teachers who will pilot the Haggerty Bridge to Writing curriculum during next school year, and then those teachers will give feedback as well about how that model worked in order to inform choices going forward. With the referendum, the staff is also planning and looking at the launch of the elementary STEAM spaces, and that will also include exploring curriculum updates, family engagement, budgeting, and also instructional schedules in terms of using those spaces. And lastly, we did have a discussion about the basic skills program in the elementary school setting. Qualifying students do participate in that program, which includes our Rocket Readers programs and also teachers utilizing the IDEA time clock. There has been a discussion about our current basic skills model and how to continue to ensure that it's meeting the needs of the students going forward. So it was a very productive meeting.
Any questions or comments from the board? Okay. All right, so if that concludes our, nothing on personnel policy, correct? Okay, good. All right, so if that concludes our committee reports, I'd like a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
And can I have a second?
I'll second.
Brian, when you're ready, can you take the roll, please?
Yes, Ms. DiMartini,
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Diambola,
Yes.
Ms. Grosso,
Yes.
5-0, motion carried.
Okay, now we're going to open up public comment for agenda items only. Public participation shall be governed by the following. Participant must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration. Participants may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Boards use the public comment period of the meeting as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, but not to debate issues or enter into a question and answer session or a cross-examination between the public and individual members. Please be aware that not all issues brought before the board will be resolved this evening. Boards may respond to public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or his designee. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and/or terminate a participant's comments if they exceed the allotted time or are objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous statements made during the public comment session. Would anyone like to get up and address the board right now? Right now, agenda items only. No? Okay. Okay, so moving on, this is a voting meeting, so we're going to move on first to curriculum and technology.
Sorry, I'm just finding my spot.
Okay, no problem.
Page 9.
Thank you. Under the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, motion to approve items A through H under curriculum and technology on this evening's agenda.
And can I have a second?
I'll second.
Before we call the vote, are there any comments, questions from the board? Okay, Brian, can you take the roll, please?
Yes, Ms. DiMartini,
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Diambola,
Yes.
Ms. Grosso,
Yes.
5-0, motion carried.
Okay, moving on to personnel.
Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, motion to approve items A through M under certificated staff and items A through C under non-certificated staff in personnel on this evening's agenda.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any questions or comments from the board? No? Okay, Brian, can you please take the roll?
Yes, Ms. DiMartini,
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Diambola,
Yes.
Ms. Grosso,
Yes.
5-0, motion carried.
Finance and facilities, please.
On the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, motions to approve items A through N under finance and item A under facilities on this evening's agenda.
And can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any questions or comments from the board?
No.
Okay. Okay, Brian, can you take the roll, please?
Yes. Ms. DiMartini?
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson?
Yes.
Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Diambola?
Yes.
Ms. Grosso?
Yes.
5-0, motion carried.
There's nothing under policy, so now moving on to public comments on anything now on or off the agenda. Again, to remind everyone that public participation shall be governed by the following. Participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration. Participant may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard, and all statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Boards once again use the public comment period of the meeting as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, but not to debate issues or enter into a question and answer session or a cross-examination between the public and individual members. Please be aware that not all issues brought before the board will be resolved this evening. Boards may respond to public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or his designee. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and/or terminate a participant's comments if they exceed the allotted time or are objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous statements made during the public comment session. Would anyone like to get up and address the board this evening? Tara.
Good evening. Tara Weinfeld, 40 Arlington Avenue, Caldwell. As a lifelong Caldwell resident, an educator of 33 years, and a mother of a child with an IEP, I feel the need to communicate my discontent with the current state of affairs regarding the teacher's vote of no confidence for the special service administrator they feel who has not made effective changes in her tenure. Whom could better formulate opinions regarding work ethic, decision-making, perspectives, and day-to-day interactions than our qualified teachers here? It's mind-boggling that over 90% of certified educators from our town spoke their truth, and they're being threatened with repercussions when their impetus is to make a positive change in our school system. I must add that as a teacher, I believe that eliminating resource rooms was a major mistake and a disservice to children who thrive in a small setting and need more than an inclusion setting. There is a time and a place for inclusion. I know firsthand from having an inclusion classroom myself and working in conjunction with the special ed teacher across all the content areas. However, in early elementary school years, it's crucial to provide individualized attention in a small pull-out session to instruct, to diagnose, to remediate, to reteach, and even test in a small, safe haven without myriad distractions of a large classroom. In the resource room, the pace is adjusted to meet the needs of the students, whereas keeping up with the pace of a general ed class could overwhelm these special learners. Nowadays, more than ever, we are cognizant of mental wellness for kids, and this model minimizes anxiety because academic, social, and emotional needs are better met in a small setting. My daughter adamantly stated she would have drowned in an inclusion setting in those early formative years. To hear it is antiquated is insulting and absurd. That is synonymous to saying tutoring could be antiquated as well. I will forever be grateful for Lincoln School's resource room and Mrs. Robin Stevens for providing a quality education for my daughter. Her needs were met and she was given tools to succeed. She grew and thrived under Robin's daily guidance in that small setting. I have eyewitnessed both successes and failures of inclusion, and it is by no means whatsoever a one-size-fits-all for these precious children who learn differently. I applaud the teachers for not condoning poor decision-making with silence. I speak now because of that same conviction. Thank you.
Thank you, Tara. Anyone else?
Madeline Brown, 13 Burkendine Road, and I'm going to say a lot of the same things, probably not as eloquently. 16 or 17 years ago, before you are all here, we sued the school district for least restrictive environment. So I stand here as a proponent of least restrictive environment. That began the battle over my older son's IEP. We were told at that time that we don't do that here. We don't do push-in. We don't do inclusion. 15, 16 years later, how ridiculous does that sound, right? We don't do inclusion. In the next few years, how ridiculous is it going to sound that we don't do that here? That we don't give students the individual education program that they deserve by giving them options of inclusion, resource, pull-out, or whatever their individualized need is. Caldwell is very behind the 8 ball. They were behind the times back then when we requested inclusion and were told we don't do that here. And moving to a full inclusion model instead of giving the students what they need is behind the 8 ball now. Other districts have tried this and it has failed. I also speak as an educator of 27 years, of the teacher who gets the inclusion students year after year, and also with the students who get pulled out with a different type of setting that they need. My children, I have one left in the district, does not have an IEP at this moment. So I am here to speak to you with absolutely no skin in this game, just 27 years of experience on best practices and good pedagogy. I'm vaguely familiar with the law as well, and at the very least, I know that an IEP means an individualized education plan. It means that the student doesn't meet, it means that the program meets the student, not that the student meets the program. Our children are not one size fits all. They should not be forced into a program that is one size fits all. I strongly urge the district to reconsider a strictly full inclusion program so that 5 years, I won't even give us 10 years. 5 years from now, we don't look back and say we didn't do that for all those students, and we don't regret those decisions and say, what were we thinking?
Thank you, Madeline. Anyone else?
How are you? My name is Mandy Brady. I live at 300 Central Avenue in West Caldwell. I'm speaking as a mom of a child who has special needs. He has an IEP, and I see my son struggling day in and day out, coming home from school, sometimes crying to not even want to come to school because he's so frustrated or upset because he doesn't feel like he's comfortable or he's learning the way that he could be learning. I feel that maybe if he was able to get the education that he needed here, I wouldn't have to pay $2,500 to send him to Montclair State this summer to get a literacy and reading program to help him meet his needs. He does have an IEP, he does have an aide, and these programs are still not working at where they're at right now. So there has to be something. I can't understand why you guys are not hearing the voices of the parents, the teachers, and the students that need these services and this help. And I would really hope that you guys can hear what we're saying, because it's important and it's sad that in a town and in a community like this, that something to this magnitude is being unheard and just disregarded. It's very sad.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Michelle DeRosa, 24 Woodland Road, in West Caldwell. This is my first time speaking. To be frank, I'm very uncomfortable and nervous, but I really felt compelled to come up after the last meeting, just really discovering that my personal concerns with special education in the town were part of a much bigger debate. So I'm not here representing a side, but just presenting my unique perspective, not just as a parent, but also an expert in special education. So I've been working since 2010 as a school psychologist and case manager, making program decisions for hundreds of special education students over the years. And during this time, I've been really lucky to work under amazing administrators that taught me so much about putting students first and providing a breadth of programming within the New Jersey Code based on individual student needs. Offering only one program for the K through 5 students here is disheartening to me. It's the definition of a cookie cutter program, and all it ensures is that the students that need something else will not get what they need and not get what they're entitled to under FAPE. There's an illusion here that the least restrictive environment equates to inclusion. Least restrictive environment is based on each student's needs, and it looks differently for each student. Let me be clear, I am not against inclusion. Special ed programming has moved to increase access to the inclusion model in our state based on research, and that is a great thing. I've seen it benefit so many students. But I promise you, it does not work for all. Students with dyslexia, for example, need intensive multisensory instruction to learn to read, frequent progress monitoring to guide instruction and ensure progress. To ask teachers to provide this in an inclusion setting with fidelity when they have to accommodate the needs of all the learners is impossible. And that is why in other districts it's provided in a resource room or a pull-out supplementary setting. But that is not an option here in Caldwell for our kids. And to me, that is an injustice for them. It goes against everything research says about early intervention. And that is just one example of a learning profile of one student that needs something in addition. So if there is a precedent that inclusion is the only elementary programming available, then how can we say it's based on individual needs, and how can we say the decisions made are including input from all of the team members? I know you ended the last meeting saying you're steadfast on the inclusion model, and I think that's wonderful. I just also challenge you to be steadfast on the resource model, the pull-out supplementary model. Be steadfast on providing a breadth of programming to accommodate all students' needs. Let the data guide the decisions, not an overarching agenda or policy on any side. I challenge all to take this lens into account, the lens of putting each student's needs first. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle, thank you so much. That was so well said and well taken. Thank you so much. Thank you. I know it was hard for you to get up there. It was very well said. Thank you. Anyone else want to come up this evening? Yeah, sure.
Good evening, Jeffrey and Megan Thompson, 46 Park Ave in Caldwell. We stand before you today in support of our teachers, in support of the vote of no confidence that has been presented to you, the Board of Education. We implore the members of this board to view this matter through the lens of those who encourage, inspire, and educate our children day in and day out. We implore this board to consider the significance of this vote through the lens of the parents of this community who are their children's voice. We are here today as those parents. We share the responsibility of advocating for our children alongside our teachers. As parents of children with learning differences, our pleas were met with steadfast rigidity and unrelenting opposition. Our child is an individual, unique, and gifted because of her abilities, and every human being deserves to be nurtured for who they are. The Department of Education School Ethics Commission asserts in the Code of Ethics for School Board members, I will make decisions in terms of the education, welfare of children, and will seek to develop and maintain public schools that meet the individual needs of all children, regardless of their ability, race, creed, sex, or social standing. We refer to the district mission, vision, values, and goals for 2021-2026. Under the 5-year milestone, item C reads, increase equity and inclusion within all learning environments. But then it goes on to state, by June of 2022, the district will reduce the number of special education referrals from personnel by 15%. To simplify, this means the district will be less likely to identify students for special education services, thereby impacting and jeopardizing the number of students receiving needed support. Education is individualized, just as special education services must be individualized. Establishing a goal without knowledge of the individuals who would represent your student population is exclusive, not inclusive. This is in direct contrast to the mission of the district, which is to foster, inspire, and champion learning for all. Trust the acumen and experience of your teachers. It is their tenure in this district that speaks volumes. This is not, for us, this is not a debate over the inclusion model. But the inclusion model, however, must be true to its name. It must include all key stakeholders in how it is administered, governed, and modified where appropriate. Such a program, just as well as any other, requires collaboration, communication, and compassion to be successful. This is a plea to the members of this board to ensure that the administrators appointed to lead any programs or services in this district are individuals who champion learning for all individuals. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's look it up.
Alyssa Manelli, 39 Forest Avenue. Good evening. I would like to preface my comments tonight with what the job of the Board of Education is: to represent the concerns of the citizens, taxpayers, and parents to the school administrators, and to represent the needs of the students and school district to us in return. Last week, I came to support our educators. Today, I stand here before you with a petition that was signed by over 200 residents, students, and former students, because we are all concerned about the vote of no confidence, as well as how dismissive the board appeared with the information that they were presented. Let me be clear, this is not about the push to be an inclusive-only district, although there is plenty of information out there that will challenge that. The LDA of America believes that the placement of all children with disabilities in the regular education classroom is as much of a violation of IDEA as the placement of all children in separate classrooms on the basis of their disability. The regular education classroom is not the least restrictive environment if they can't make the progress. Last week, Mrs. Grosso, you told us that we, and I'm quoting you, we see things through a different lens. I am here today to ask you to share that lens. This is not something that we should remain in the dark about. We deserve to understand the lens that you are using to make decisions that will affect how all our children are educated. The policies that are used and adopted to help them rapidly compete in a changing world. So I'm going to ask you to share that lens. I will also ask that question again. Do you trust the people, the women and men that are educating our children, your children? Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Jesse Burdell, JCHS teacher and CWCEA vice president. I'm reading a statement by the CWCEA president, Mara Lobato, who's unable to attend tonight. The CWCEA presented its vote of no confidence last week and our supporting claims. We did not intend to say anything this week. However, at the end of the meeting last week, our focus and position seemed to be clouded by comments made by the superintendent and board president regarding the concept of an inclusion model, possibly leading listeners to conclude that the teachers of this district do not support inclusion. That simply is not true. Our vote of no confidence focuses on a leadership role, not an educational program. It's important to emphasize that we, as educators, are not opposed to an inclusion model. I've personally taught inclusion for over 20 years, have a strong co-teacher, and continually work to revamp and rethink my lessons with my colleagues. We are fully supportive of inclusion, but we believe it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. In fact, the New Jersey Department of Education and federal regulations have not changed. The resource model remains a valid option as identified by the state. Every child learns differently and succeeds in their own way. We advocate for each child to receive the placement that best meets their individual educational needs and supports the most successful outcomes. Our role as educators is to help students find success in the ways that work best for them as they grow and develop. That may look different for each student, and we feel that this philosophy is in jeopardy. Our concerns and ultimate vote of no confidence stem from a challenging work environment. Over the past 3 years, the association and educators have made sincere efforts, including surveys and roundtable meetings, to collaborate with the upper administration in pursuit of educational success for all students in the district. We are simply asking to be heard regarding the changes affecting our classrooms and schools. We want an open line of communication where educators can speak honestly. Only in an environment where feedback is welcomed and concerns about student achievement are taken seriously can we truly meet the needs of every student and help them reach their full potential. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Sue Callahan, English teacher, James Caldwell High School, former president of the WCEA, and speaker from last week. And as I told you last week, I didn't want to be here last week. I don't want to be here this week, but because we all care, the parents, thank you for coming out and expressing your interest. It takes a lot of courage. So, but I do want to say that I felt compelled to come back today to set the record straight. I'm an English teacher, and I deal in facts. I teach research. I teach the importance of looking at accurate and accurately reporting reliable sources. And I guess it was TAP last week. One of the facts that I presented to you last week was called into question. I can't let that go unchecked, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of side railing this because your parents, you all were so eloquent, but I have a reputation to uphold. I'm sorry. My figure of 26 educators, special education educators, I'm going to hold to it. I have the list, I have the names, I have the dates of resignations. It was not 16 as reported in TAP, it is 26. Actually, it's 27 because this original list was made in February. There was another special education resignation in the March minutes. That's 27 people. As a former president and someone who advocates for teachers, I'm very much concerned about keeping solid educators, good educators in this district, and attracting other good ones here. We have seen tremendous turnover, unlike anything I've seen in the 44 years that I've worked here. Right? This is my home, my second home. This is my extended family. I want what's best for this community. And when I see these turnover numbers, I am appalled. And so I actually went back. I took my time over the weekend, and I went through all the minutes again, which are very hard to discern. And I have a second list now for you with 35 names on it. 35 teachers that were not special ed have resigned over the past 4 years. I also have a third list that I did this afternoon. In the past 5 years, 42 teachers have retired. And I could probably, and I think all of you can sit here and think of people who retired earlier than they needed to. Right? We have a problem, but I know and I hope that after this all happens, we will work together to remedy that and to make this district a great place to work, to teach, and to be educated. Right? I thank you for your time. I know, and I sent you all an email saying that I appreciate all your hard work. It is a thankless job, but I do hope that you do listen to us. Two other issues. One of the people keep asking me, like, well, why didn't the teachers grieve? And I said, because it's not, you grieving, you know, when you grieve, it has to be a violation, there has to be a violation of the contract. That did not exist. The other thing people are asking is, do you have to act on the part, I'm sorry, I'm done, do you have to act on the part of the recommendation? I looked at the laws, and you know, obviously the lawyer can tell you, but you don't have to if there's compelling evidence. And I think, like Trish Morton said it best, it was a roar. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else want to come up this evening? Liz?
Liz Hart, 149 Ravine Ave. I'm going to be slightly off topic, or off the current topic, so not disrespecting any of the teachers or anything like that. So one, I just wanted to remind everyone that this Saturday, May 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., is the James Caldwell High School Scholarship Fund annual spring shredding event. So 100% of donations, when you drop off anything that needs to be shredded, will go towards scholarships to our graduating seniors for need-based scholarships. So please come out. It's at the Kiwanis Oval, again from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I know there's going to be construction on Bloomfield Avenue, so hopefully you will be able to figure out a way to get around to it to drop off your shredding. So please attend.
Thank you.
I'm also not going to be able to be here next Monday, so I'm going to ask some questions now about the budget, if that is okay, because I think you mentioned it, but now it's public, so it doesn't matter anyway. So I was reviewing the budget, and I did notice that under the employee contract list for the district, that Ms. Jones is not listed even for this year. So my first question is she still the acting assistant superintendent, or is she no longer employed by the district?
Can't really discuss personnel at this point, so we could discuss that at a later date.
Okay. So then my next question is
right now, Liz, she is the assistant superintendent.
The position is budgeted
currently
through June.
exists. So the position is budgeted through June 30th, 2025. That's all that we can say right now.
Other than that, we can't discuss personnel matters.
Okay. But is there a reason, if she's currently
I can't discuss personnel matters.
Yeah.
That's it, Liz. That's the answer. I can't change that answer.
Yeah, we can't keep discussing it right now in public, Liz. But but it you know, when it's like what I say in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like as things develop and then we're able to reveal them to the public, we will do that. Right now, Ms. Jones is employed with the district through June 30th, 2025, and then we'll be able to discuss further as those details transpire.
Can I ask a hypothetical question, or that's not allowed? No hypothetical.
No, sorry. And you know, I'm not usually like that, Liz. I try, but not hypothetical. It's
You
a
can
personnel.
ask, but we're not going to be able to answer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you. I know you're not going to be able to answer it, and I completely respect that. My question is, because there was the announcement of the interim superintendent, right, from July through June. In looking at the org chart for the roles that report into the assistant superintendent, I just want to flag that hypothetically, I have concerns that there are several, like the principals report into the assistant superintendent, and like Mr. I'm going to say his name incorrectly, so I don't even want to say it. I apologize. Yeah, the director of secondary education and the director of elementary education also roll up under this.
So Liz, don't worry. Like the interim I don't want to be dismissed. I'm just like the interim superintendent will come in and be reorganizing central office as he or she sees fit.
Okay.
But again, like that'll all transpire when the interim comes in. But we're just in a period of change right now, and we just can't discuss all of those things like organizational charts, personnel. Like we just can't do that right now.
Okay.
But we're going to be announcing the interim. The interim will come in and look at a lot of the things that are being discussed tonight from a different lens.
Okay.
And we will use that lens as guidance for the future, and then that will be, revealed to the public when we can do that. So we don't want to not answer you. It's just not appropriate at this time.
Okay, that's fair. I know the thing just went off, but can I ask?
It's okay. You can ask part two.
Okay.
It's okay.
I printed this thing out, and now I can't see it. So
we're taking your time up by talking, Liz, so that doesn't count for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so my next question is, specifically with regard to the budget, right? So when the original budget is submitted, it's the proposed, right? And so now there's also a revised budget, and then there's the proposed for the next fiscal year, right? So my question is that when the revised budget figures come in that are higher than the original proposed, right, for this current calendar or whatever fiscal year, why would the proposed budget for next year be less?
So I'm going to hand that to Brian.
Is it, okay.
Sure, you can answer, I can answer. What do you want to do?
You answer and I'll interject if you're going off track.
All right, so,
Chris, push it towards
as
Brian
you
so
know,
we can hear him.
as you know, we're a zero-based budget.
Right.
So we only budget what we need. So we can have, and a budget is just a plan.
Right.
So you can have the original plan change during the fiscal year.
Right.
And then we will go back to look at the next fiscal year.
Right.
And look at the needs, and those needs may be less than what happened during the prior year. I know in particular you talked about what happened in extraordinary aid, for instance. You were saying, why is it different? I got the question today already.
Okay, no, well, so my question specifically, right, relates to there's the school-sponsored co-curricular or extracurricular activities instruction, right? The proposed budget for this current year was $655,000. The revised is coming in at $691, which would lead me to believe that actual expenses coming in are higher than what the proposed were, right? But yet our budget proposal for this next calendar school year is $80,000 less. So is that because what was submitted is less, or is it because we're cutting back?
It's a combination of those two things. There was a couple of items that were in budget lines that needed to be moved to other budget lines, which is the majority of that. There was like a salaried line in there that we had to supplement that we moved into the correct line, and then there was
It's basically, we had
the elementary school
co-curricular.
co-curricular
We didn't spend
activities
it.
didn't get spent at all, so we just moved that money out.
Okay. I mean, I guess my big flag always, right, is the music and arts department, right? Because it's where
Nothing was cut from that list.
Okay. I just, and I just want to make sure that like the budgets that are being submitted are, not lower than what was submitted for this year to ensure that those kids are also getting the attention and support that they so greatly deserve.
Again, one line was for the CPA to hire people that needed to be in a different line, and the other line was for elementary co-curricular activities that the money wasn't expended this year, so it was moved out.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. So that was it.
Is that it, Liz?
And the other,
It is.
And the other
I have
question-
other line items, but it's like,
the other question was, why is one line less than the other?
No,
the support line?
The other line was
Extraordinary services support line?
correct. Was the extraordinary services, right? This
So-
was a drop of 214,000, and then is that for head count for operating expenses,
So,
or?
no, it was actually specifically targeted to 3 out-of-district programs. So students that attend out-of-district get supplemental services. Those services were reduced, so that's that big savings in those out-of-district student programs where the tuition part of that was reduced.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, no, I do understand that it is like a bottoms-up budget and, a zero-based budget or whatever, sorry, the correct terminology is. So I'm just here also just ensuring that, like, the money is being requested for the kids and that it's not being rejected from a budget perspective.
No, it's in there.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Liz. Anyone else?
Madeline Brown, 13 Burkendine Road again. I'm just looking for a little clarification. Last month, the month before, I asked you about things in the minutes or in the agenda and that weren't public. And then I was told after the first meeting of the month, then they become public. And then because we said, a couple of us actually said, you asked for public comments, but there's no information in there. How do we give public comments? And I was told it's there after the first meeting, and it's always been that way. And I said, oh, I never noticed that. And I was told it's always been that way. And it's still not that way, because I looked and there's still no more information in today's minutes than there were in last week's minutes. So I guess that's what I'm looking for clarification on. And then just to jump off what Liz said, in the budget I haven't seen the budget, but it seems to me what I'm hearing is we are possibly eliminating positions. So not speaking personnel and specific people wise, but if we're eliminating positions, I feel like we should have information about that. And I understand that you all have been voted in by us and you get to make those decisions, and that's how democracy works. But I'm wondering why you offer time for public comments and questions if you won't respond to them at all. So you have a question of why we're eliminating a position. Is there going to be a time before this is a done deal where we get to ask you questions and you get to give us the benefit of your reasoning why that is?
Public comment is, the board is very respectful of the community and tries to answer as many questions as they can, but honestly, public comment section isn't really a question and answer period. The board makes decisions based on the priorities that they've established. So the board is very generous in answering the questions. Some questions we can't answer because of personnel. Sorry, my arms are crossed. I don't mean to do that to you. Well, the personnel, specifically personnel questions, really isn't something the board can discuss.
So is it a personnel or is it a budget question when positions are disappear?
It is personnel. The budget just reflects personnel decisions.
Okay. And what about not seeing those things written between the meetings? Because
So
that was what you told me that it happens.
Yeah, personnel items aren't released until they're voted on. So that you won't see.
Right, but that is not what you told me the last time I was up here asking
I would never
that
have told, if I've communicated that wrongly, I apologize, but that will never be presented until the board votes for it.
Okay, because that's definitely.
So if I miscommunicated that last time, I apologize.
Yeah, I don't think I misunderstood you because I had a lot of text
maybe
that
I
night.
miscommunicated it. If I did, I apologize, but that the personnel items are never made available, except when there's only one meeting, then they'd be available right after that meeting. So caucus meeting is the time to discuss it, and then they vote on it the following meeting, and then it's available to the public after the board votes on it. So it wouldn't be available till tomorrow because they voted on it tonight, so it'll be published tomorrow.
And the elimination of positions is just a done deal with absolutely no public input at all on that.
It's, again, the board makes those decisions. As you said, democracy is a wonderful thing, and the board is voted in to make those decisions.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, Jennifer Cacci, 101 Fairfield Avenue. I'm also the parent facilitator, one of the parent facilitators for the Special Education Parent Advisory Group.
Alyssa Rogers, 3 Longmeadow Lane, West Caldwell. I'm the other parent facilitator for CPAC.
And we're just here, I know we were here last meeting as well, just to remind everybody in the community. I know special education has been a big topic lately. We are having a wonderful event this Thursday, I can't believe it's May 1st already, at James Caldwell High School in the cafeteria. We're having an inclusive resource fair. We have agencies, companies from our local town and surrounding towns. We have upwards of 30, close to 30 different vendors that are going to be present that can provide information about all kinds of services for children and adults with special needs. Families can come and actually talk to people face to face instead of leaving, messages and emails. We'll have Honor Society students there to help keep an eye on kiddos. We have a little kids area. We'll have refreshments and snacks, giveaways, things like that. It's a great opportunity to learn about services in our community for our families and our children, and we encourage everybody to come this Thursday at the high school in the cafeteria from 5 to 7 p.m. We hope to see as many of you as possible.
Definitely, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say one thing? Jenna and Alyssa, they do a fabulous job of organizing this event. There's a lot of work that goes into reaching out to businesses, especially when they're specific to certain needs of our children. So really, thank you. I'm excited to go, and I hope everybody else can stop in.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I actually have a question. Someone asked me, do children attend the resource fair? Is it just for parents only? Is it adults only, or can you bring your children?
You can bring your kids. I mean, it's geared for adults to have conversations, but we do have high school students and activities. We have a little kids corner that the kids can kind of be kept busy, so parents can actually have conversations with other adults. And we kind of keep the kiddos busy while you do that and walk around and get some information.
Awesome. Thank you both so much.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. That being said, I'm just going to remind everyone, I know Liz couldn't be here, but this Monday already is May 5th, 6 p.m. James Caldwell High School will be the budget hearing. Brian will give his presentation. Prior to that, we will have the cast, members of the cast of Frozen to give us a preview of the musical, and then Brian will go into the budget presentation, and then please keep an eye out for an announcement about the May 19th meeting. If it works out with the interim schedule, we will start that meeting probably around 5 o'clock p.m. Prior to the start of the 7 o'clock public session, but all of that will be communicated to the community in advance. Okay? That being said, can I have a motion to exit public session and enter back into executive at approximately 8:35 p.m.?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Brian, can you take the roll, please?
Yes, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All against, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank you. Turn on.